Pistol Pete Maravich, one of the most underrated and iconic players in basketball history. Pistol Pete dominated in the 70s, but how good was he actually? Let's dive into it. Before we start, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, as it further motivates you to make more videos like this. So let's get right into it. Pete Maravich was born on June 22nd, 1947 in Pennsylvania, a town where toughness was a way of life. From an early age, basketball wasn't just a hobby, it was a way of bonding with his father, Pete Maravich, a former player and coach who dedicated himself to developing Pete's talent. Pete's training was intense and unconventional at the time. His father drilled him constantly, making him dribble blindfolded, run ball handling drills through obstacle courses, and shoot from outrageous distances. But by the time he was in high school, Pete was already dazzling crowds with moves no one else was doing. When Pete committed to LSU, his father followed him and became the head coach. There, Pete would make history. Over 3 seasons, he averaged an astonishing 44.2 points per game, the highest in NCAA history, and he did it without a 3-point line. To put this in perspective, no player in NCAA history has come remotely close to touching that average. Modern-day stars, even today's more fast-paced game, rarely average more than 25 to 30 points. Maravich was an offensive powerhouse who controlled every possession and could score from nearly anywhere on the court. Had the arc existed in his era, analysts estimate Pete could have averaged over 457 points per game. He was regularly pulling up from the distances that would be considered deep threes today, and he did it with unmatched confidence and style. He had the ball on a string and was constantly in motion, confusing defenders with quick crossovers and unorthodox releases. His college scoring record, even today, remains untouched, and likely will never be. It's a testament not just to his talent, but to his relentless work ethic and deep understanding of the game. Pete then entered the NBA in 1970 as the 3rd overall pick to the Atlanta Hawks. From the beginning, he brought a level of creativity and flair rarely seen in NBA basketball at the time. Known for his ball-handling wizardry and unpredictable passing, Maravich averaged 24.2 points per game over his 10-year career, made 5 All-Star appearances, and posted a career-high 68 points against the New York Knicks in 1977, all without a 3-point shot. That 68-point per game performance remains one of the most underrated scoring outbursts in NBA history. In today's game, we often hear about 50 or 60-point games, but very few players, even in the modern scoring area, have touched 68. Maravich did it without the spacing advantages, without the pace, and without the analytics-driven freedom players have today. Maravich later played for the New Orleans and Utah Jazz, and briefly for the Boston Celtics before retiring due to injuries. His time in the NBA, while impressive, was hindered by poor team rosters and reoccurring injuries. But even in those circumstances, Pete stood out as a singular offensive force. Maravich's offensive genius wasn't limited to just scoring. His basketball IQ was off the charts. He practiced relentlessly, often used weighted balls, and performed complex dribbling drills, all that were seen as crazy at the time. He even trained his peripheral vision by reading books while dribbling, a technique few athletes would even attempt today. Maravich was more than just a player. He was a student of the game. Maravich dissected defenses with the eyes of a chess master, not only reacting to movements, but anticipating them. His passing wasn't just flashy, it was functional. He created angles that didn't exist and opened up plays that most guards didn't even consider. Magic Johnson once said that Pete was the only player whose passes truly surprised him. Coming from Magic Johnson, the ultimate floor general and considered the greatest point guard of all time, that's no small compliment. Unfortunately, Pete's career was shortened by reoccurring knee injuries. He retired in 1980, just as the NBA introduced the 3-point line, a rule that perfectly suited his skill set. The timing couldn't have any worse. Pete had spent a decade pulling up from distances that would be now worth 3 points. yet he never got the opportunity to capitalize on it. His game was built on the modern NBA, and yet he just missed out. Tragically, Maravich passed away at the age of 40 due to a rare heart defect. Doctors discovered that he had no left coronary artery, a condition that normally prevents strenuous activity. Despite this, he had played professional basketball at the highest level for a decade. His death shocked the basketball world and added another layer to his legacy. Though Pete never won an NBA title, Maravich's influence on the game is profound. He paved the way for players who prioritize flair, creativity, and entertainment, predecessors to modern stars like Steph Curry, Jason Williams, and Kyrie Irving. Even beyond the NBA, Maravich became a symbol of skill development and showmanship. Coaches still use his training videos to teach ball handling fundamentals. His drills, from two-ball routines to blindfolded passing, became staples for serious players looking to sharpen their skills. He was inducted into Naismith Memorial Hall of Fame in 1987. And even though the younger generations may not have seen him play, his influence is woven into the DNA of modern basketball. Had Pete played in today's NBA with modern medical care, a three-point line, and the freedom to create, he likely would have been a consistent All-NBA player and a perennial scoring champion. The league today values spacing, shot creation, and versatility, all of which were serious and core strengths of Pete's games. He would have thrived in pick-and-roll sets, excelled in transition, and mesmerized audiences with his highlight plays. In short, Pete Maravich was made for today's game. He just happened to be born a few decades too early. So, how good was Pistol Pete Maravich? He was once in a generational talent, the player who changed the game before the world was ready for it. His stats are historic, his style unforgettable, and his legacy undeniable. Pete Maravich has often been left in the dust in recent NBA history. A lot of the younger NBA fans fail to realize just how good Pistol Pete Maravich was. In the 1970s, basketball wasn't the same without a three-point line. Without the spacing we know today, Pete Maravich still dominated in that era. Now we can only imagine just how good Pistol Pete Maravich would be in today's league. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, comment with your favorite Pistol Pete moment. Subscribe for more deep dives into basketball greatness. Until next time, stay fast and stay fearless.